So you've been probably pretty busy with basketball and stuff, right? Right.
Basketball and soccer.
Basketball. Soccer this time of year? Is it indoor?
Indoor, yeah.
Oh, I would hope so.
They've
Wow.
been at the same time though the last couple weeks, so he's just done basketball.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But two games on a Saturday
Uh-huh.
and then two practices during the week. So yeah, I've been pretty busy.
Yeah. Hmm. Well, like I said,
Are
I've
we,
been a little busier at work than I normally am. It's kind of picked up a little bit.
we're live too, right?
Yes, we are live.
Okay.
For some reason, my chat is not coming up. Why is that? Sometimes I just don't know what this thing is doing. Kind of crazy.
I'm kind of glancing over that article right
Oh,
now.
yeah. See if anything stands out.
Yeah.
So where is my dadgum chat app tonight? So yeah, what did you think of all the Shiloh texts?
It irritates me, to be honest.
Irritate you.
It really does. It's almost been 4 years, Brian.
I know.
4 years.
4 years in June. Yeah.
And
It-
he talks like it's funny. I don't get that.
yeah, it's
Like
definitely
he
not funny and just dangling people along for 4 years. I mean, I understand they've got the court case. I get that, but it's just a probate case. It shouldn't, I wouldn't think it would take this long to get through that. I mean, I do know how courts work. Um, I've been down that road before, and it took like 3 years, before anything started happening. And but just for a probate case seems a little odd. And then
the
several of the people have retired, so that's kind of interesting in itself, you know?
is the probate over with now?
Um, no, it's not open. It's still open. That's what's the strange thing about it.
Hmm. So I haven't been paying attention enough, but wasn't the epicness supposed to happen in January or December? Or has it been
Well,
pushed back another year?
depends it depends on who you talk to. If you talk to Ben, it was just a day, a random date thrown out there. Don't hold me to this. I had to turn my hat around to be Ben, take my glasses off. But yeah, if you talk to Ben, it was just what it was. But the 6 to 9 months thing didn't come from anybody else besides Ben and Shiloh. So, you know,
Well, what's the
why?
deal with that? Because he was so sure about it.
Yeah. And then when it got closer, it's like, not going to happen. You could kind of tell in his voice, you know what I'm saying? And then it was all, the other side's fault for keep bringing it up. So, like I said, I'm not in the know. I'm not in Shiloh and Ben's head, so I don't know what's going on or why they're stringing people along. But I mean, like you've said many times, people lost their lives. you know?
Well, we've had people pass away since then too.
Well,
From
that's true. Yeah, yeah,
I can't remember the guy's name. I'm only thinking of one in particular. I don't know if there's been more, but there has been, hasn't there?
yeah. There's been several that's passed away in the 4 years.
So to me, it's like it's all one big joke, and it just,
And, and to hear some of them talk, it's like they talk in code like they know what's going on, and just like I'm like way ahead of you, and
yeah, which makes it even worse. I mean,
yeah,
Shiloh would have been, if he actually does have something in the works, I don't even know what it could be, but he would have been
right,
better off just not saying a word, not talking to nobody.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know.
Just, I guess the longer it goes on, just the more irritated I get. I hardly pay attention like I used to.
Yeah, I definitely don't either. Um,
The When stoof.com gets brought up, I don't even get it. I don't understand who cares about it.
yeah. I mean, you know me, I haven't really paid much attention to it. I mean, I did get an email in the very beginning. It was when you and I were going over stoof.com from the Wayback Machine. That would have been last June last year. Stoof.com went live like 2 or 3 days or something like that after we had been discussing that, um, which is kind of odd. And then getting the email on top of that, bringing my attention to it, because I thought the attention was on stoof.com from the Wayback Machine, but they were saying, oh, well, it's stoof.com. If you go there, if you put that in, it something actually comes up. So I feel like I'm part of it, but yet I'm not part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It seems like a wild goose chase to me. And to me, if there was any epicness or fun, as Shiloh says,
Yeah,
I feel like he could be a lot more creative and actually get something that would, string people along.
right.
This
Well,
doesn't seem like anything.
you saw the text, that Ben shared, about the question from Jeremy that he didn't answer.
Oh, the one where he said no, haha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so the one serious question you get that you could kind of clarify something, and we got nothing except for a ha ha ha. Well, it wasn't a ha ha ha. It was just a ha ha. To me, was that towards Ben? Was that a
Well,
swipe at Ben? Because he's the one always talking about ha ha ha.
he knows he's sharing it though, so
Oh yeah, yeah. There's definitely something up with all this, but to put my finger on it, I couldn't tell you. The stoof.com. So a couple of theories I have. Well, one I know is right. You've got to find a name. You got to find out you got to figure out the nature of the game. And once you figure that out, you'll have a name. So that's the end game for stoof.com. Now, what that name what that name's going to tell everybody, that's what I don't know. So I'm going to throw an offer out there to anybody who's listening or going to watch this. So within the next 2 weeks, you send me an email. My email is right there on my YouTube. You should be able to find it. It's at the top underneath my name. So I'm going to take maybe 10 or 12 people and we're going to private Zoom on the weekend. Half hour, 45 minutes. I don't want to take much of your time. You can do your own research. And we all get together on a private Zoom and we try to try to figure out that spider web. What's going on? You know, maybe we don't find out anything. And that's fine. But it kind of gives us something to do. And I'm willing to put my little bit of time into that. Because frankly, I don't have a day-to-day, I don't have all this time to do all this day-to-day stuff. I mean, I've got a full-time job that I've got to concentrate on. I've got family that's more important than that. So, but I'm willing to give up at least half hour, 45 minutes of my time on the weekend if it works out, whether it be a Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, a Sunday evening. Sundays typically usually work better for most people than Saturday. But I'd be willing to give up a little bit of my time if 10 or 12 people, or even if it's only 6 people, did you want to try to figure this out. I'd be willing to do that. So email me if you're interested. We'll see where it goes from there. Um, anything you got to add to that, Galaxy? I know you're not interested in stoof.com. But I didn't, I there's a couple of things I could say, but I'm not going to say. But
I'm just tired of wasting my time. You know what I mean?
yeah, from what I've gathered, hardly nobody's working on stoof.com. There's not very many people.
They can't
It's not,
even, whoever it is or whatever game it is, they can't even give you enough to keep you interested.
yeah,
Give us
yeah,
give us something that actually means something.
yeah, yeah.
I
So,
can't even follow it.
right, right. And and it's hard too because it's like the impossible poem, Ben's impossible poem. I didn't even I didn't even try. I looked at it a couple of times. I'm like, "Ah, I just can't get into this, It's just I don't want to go down that path again, and then just be disappointed with the ending. And then look what we got.
Yep. And to
Ben's
me, I'm
so
not
I got
letting
go ahead.
I'm not letting anyone else play mind games with me. I'm not.
Yeah.
Justin Posey ends up hiding a chest with 10 million. That same one. I wouldn't even pay attention to. I wouldn't get involved with it or anything.
10 million? You wouldn't really?
Nope. I'm I'm serious.
You you know I could drag your ass in there.
Uh, I don't think so. Because you know what? I know exactly what it would be. Just more of this.
Yeah, yeah. Right, right. Well, I mean, you have a very valid point, which is why I haven't really gotten into the stoof.com thing. I've thrown a few of my ideas out there, but other than that, it's just, do I really want to do this? And I'm like, you know what? I got reached out to in the very beginning. So why don't I just at least acknowledge it and play along a little bit? If anybody else out there wants to play along and work together in a small team, private Zoom, I'm up for that. So some people need that in their life. Some people don't. I'm one of those people. I don't mind doing it every once in a while, but if it if I let it start, then it starts consuming you, and that's not good. You know, we've been down that road, right, Galaxy?
Yeah, you're right there. I think everyone everyone here, everyone on Discord, everyone on, all these YouTube channels, they
Uh-huh.
all have something better they could be doing
Yeah, yeah. I agree.
or they should be doing.
Right.
Quit wasting our time.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. So the other theory I had on this stoof.com thing, what if it's what if it's part of Ben Napple's impossible poem solve? Meaning what I'm getting at is supposedly his flies got found and and he wasn't sure who it was. But there is one person out there that supposedly gave him a little bit of info that said, okay, that's got to be the person. But he's never shared that with us. Don't you think that's odd? Why would he not share it? So it makes me wonder if Ben if is not connected along with this person with stoof.com. Because from what I know, he's not working on it. From
Ben
what
isn't?
Ben is not, supposedly. That's what I'm gathering. Yeah.
Yeah. But all to figure out who the flies went to? Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, well, possibly, because why hasn't Ben mentioned who that is? Or maybe he did and I just missed all that. And that's heck, I've been wrong numerous times. I'm okay with being wrong. Made me a stronger person knowing that I'm wrong once in a while. But yeah, I'm just wondering if that's linked somehow. Those two things are linked somehow. I, just a guess, just a theory. Did- so have you heard Ben talk about how much he was offered for those flies?
No, how much?
Last night he said that he was offered $10,000 from Cynthia.
Huh, really?
Yeah. He was offered 40 some thousand. I think he said Packer Jack. And then he also had another offer that was 50-ish, 50, something like that. I mean, kind of, it's a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I mean, man, if I told my wife I was going to spend $50,000 on a box of flies, she'd probably croak.
I think I think to me the max that I could see anyone paying for them just because they have some meaning is like 5 grand maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. That's what he was saying last night. So I don't know how true that is, or, I don't have any reason to say it's not true. So, but yeah. But we don't have an
Sounds
answer to we don't have the person that figured this impossible poem out. So
sounds
here's
like
something.
some
So I talked to Stumpy today. I was telling you that.
yeah.
So Stumpy wanted me to tell Ben, interesting, you got swatted. That's what happens to flies. They get swatted.
Mm.
Uh, so yeah, he wanted me to relay that message. I had a SWAT team down the road, two houses down from me. I didn't think much about it until a week later. I'm like, wait a minute. I damn near got swatted.
Wait, they swatted a house neck down the road from you?
Yeah, two houses down.
What what for?
We don't know. I don't know. The strange thing was I was watching my grandkids on the weekend. No, wait. No, it was during Christmas time. because I was off during Christmas and New Year's. So it's one of the days that they were out of school and out of their daycare. And all of a sudden I hear this banging noise. Like I'm like, what the heck is that noise? I got up and walked over to the door and kind of opened it up and looked out, and I saw my neighbor. He inherited a truck from his dad, and it had a door that was dinged up on it. So he was out there with a baseball bat trying to get the get the get it back in shape, you know. I was like, oh, that's what's going on. Then I looked out a little bit more. I'm like, holy crap, there's a SWAT team right there. So I don't know. I still don't know what happened or what was going on there, but anyway, I thought it was interesting. I thought about that a couple of weeks later, a week later or two. I'm like, wow, that was close. I dang near got swatted.
May- Maybe they just got the wrong address.
That's what I was thinking. Nah, there was some suspicious things going on, I think. So yeah, it was all legit.
Oh, gosh, I'd want to know what it was.
Yeah, well,
If it was-
I would like to know. That's Jason. Well, I should Stumpy. I keep calling him Jason, but anyway, Jason and I were talking about that, and he goes, that swatting thing is that's pretty crazy that even could happen that like that, without any somebody just calls up and randomly says there's an assault going on. I mean, they send a SWAT team over. You'd think they just send the police, but not a whole SWAT team.
It's a good way to get shot.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
something.
I mean, they could say there's a man, they could say a man just shot somebody.
Uh-huh.
So they would be going to that house, guns ready.
Uh-huh.
You could just be
Huh.
out like mowing your grass or something and come around the corner and scare them, and they're going to respond with shooting you.
Yeah. So here's an interesting little thing in the chat. Moisturize says Packer Jack also was the only other person that knew the fly's location.
Hmm.
Very interesting, huh? And Ben was just on last night talking about how he wanted to start a new treasure hunt. Let me guess, with $50,000. Oh, Ben.
I'll believe it when I see it, I
Hmm.
guess.
So yeah, I know you noticed my Chief stuff and you mentioned it, but like I said, I was really rooting for the Lions. Trust me, I was. I
Should have
really a Lions Chiefs. I was gonna where I figured we could put a little wager down.
I'll have to send you a Taylor Swift sweatshirt.
Oh, that's hilarious. I honestly thought about taking a screenshot of Kelsey and Taylor and putting it as my back screen,
Oh gosh.
the backdrop. I almost did. I was like, nah, I'm not going to.
I was thinking about this yesterday.
Uh,
I almost wonder if they were a thing before they like actually became a thing and it was all like a marketing thing.
it could be. So do you know who Aaron Anders is?
Yeah.
Okay. So oddly enough, her husband used to be the punter for Minnesota Vikings. I don't know if you knew that or not.
No, I did not know that.
And she has a pot. Well, I'm a Vikings fan, what can I say? But um, that's just a neat little tidbit I threw in there. Anyway, Erin Anders has a podcast, and she also has like a clothing line, a sports clothing line, and she
Okay.
has necklaces and stuff like that. So she has talked about how she would like to take the credit for Kelsey and Taylor Swift getting together because that was a conversation at one time. So I don't know if that's all how that all got started or not, but it was pretty interesting because Taylor Swift wears a lot of her sports line, like
Oh,
the necklace she had on. That was Aaron Anders. Aaron Anders. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not, but yeah, we kind of got off the subject there talking about sports, but which is probably
yeah.
a good thing.
I can't remember how they broke the news that they were dating, but
Yeah, I don't remember either. So I
when you're
wonder.
when you're high profile like that, you like to hide, you know, who you're
Yeah, yeah,
dating or in a
yeah,
relationship with.
right.
And then there's always going to be that time when it gets finally released.
Yeah.
And it sure would be a good way to um make some money doing it the way that they possibly could have done it. It just seems like it's scripted in a way.
It, yeah, they always make it look like that, I think. And maybe it just looks like that to us. I just wonder if during the Super Bowl, if they was to win, Chiefs won, if he'll propose.
Oh
That's
gosh.
that's the rumor now. You don't like Taylor Swift?
I mean, I don't dislike her,
You
but
don't dislike her. So the strange thing about that is my daughter, I know a lot about Taylor Swift because when my daughter was young, she had her very first CD. So I've
uh,
always known who Taylor Swift was because my daughter. And it's just kind of weird, you know. I was like, wow, Brianna, I said you picked out a good one there. 'Cause she definitely has come a long way. And she seems pretty, she's kind of a down-to-earth person. So we were when we visited Nashville, we took a tour of Nashville and where they take you around and show you where all the celebrities live and all that stuff. That's something my wife and my sister wanted to do. My brother and I were just kind of like, oh, okay, well, whatever. But it was pretty interesting stories that we got to hear from this guy. Um, but he was talking about Taylor Swift, how some of the stories that he's gotten because she lives there, and how that she's one of one of the ones that's pretty much about as normal as you can get as far as, a singer. But there
you,
was a lot of people like, Daryl Hall and John Oates. Do you remember that? Well, I'm probably showing my age, but one of them, the one that does the most of the writing, he lives there. There's a lot of people that live in Nashville. I was surprised. And that Michael Orr, who played football, uh, it's he's in the movie The Blind Side.
okay, yeah.
He lives there. Yeah.
I my daughter is a fan of hers too.
Uh,
Uh, I mean, of course she's like a good influence, I would say,
yeah. Yeah.
but it's just it is kind of annoying to see her everywhere, you know.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you can't get on any social media and not see something about her. I bet if I typed in a news website, she's gonna be on there somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, what was I gonna say too? I could see her like popping up during the halftime show and doing like 2 minutes or something.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm calling it.
So you know what, you're saying that, but I thought too. I was like, if she's gonna be at the game, what's the chances of Usher bringing in Taylor Swift. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it'd be kind of crazy not to, but yeah,
You watch. You watch. They'll be showing her up in that press box, and then all of a sudden, you won't see her for like 5 minutes.
yeah, yeah.
During that set, she's gonna pop up somewhere.
Uh-huh. So you have any questions for anybody in the chat? I see Nomadic Madman, Vista Home, Moisturize, Redneck, Pam, A Whisperer's in the room. Pam, hey, there you go. How about you come on and share that email? Let's break a little news tonight. Wouldn't that be
Yeah,
cool?
I second that.
You second that?
Yeah,
I'm just teasing. I'm just messing around. So can you see this picture?
yeah.
So this is like the scrapbook reenactment picture. So this is from Scrapbook. Let me get my little notes out here. My trusty little notepads. I got thousands of these little notepads. It's from so that's from Scrapbook 99.5.
Huh.
She said email. What email? Ha ha. Nice try, Pam. That ain't gonna work. So yeah, this is what do you think about this picture, Galaxy? Did I leave you, Galaxy?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't really see anything.
Yeah. Well, he does point out the clock. That's the only thing he points out. He talks about the clock.
Shiloh does.
Yeah, he mentions the clock. So that's kind of, I mean, is it interesting? I don't know. These flowers up here, these red flowers, that's kind of interesting. I mean, there is a red, you got the red Emirates um, tag on the luggage. You got the red flowers. Um, yeah, I don't know. I could give a lot of thoughts, but not that it's going to help us anything. I'm going to stop sharing that one. Now I'm going to open up what did I do with that one? Okay, where did it go?
To me, it just seems like Shiloh just shares pictures that's gonna stir the pot.
Yeah, well, that could be. Well, I got a theory to this madness. Hang with me here. Oh, what did I do with that picture? The spice one. Oh, maybe I didn't get it out of my email. Did I not do anything with it? I thought I did. I guess I didn't send it to myself. Anyway, the spice jar drawer. Are you familiar with that one?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, have you seen that picture that Shiloh had?
No, I haven't. I don't think.
Okay. Well, I thought I had it right here. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is, right in front of me. So that scrapbook is number 49. Let me share that. Share. Probably going to be a little blurry. Can you see that okay?
Good enough. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a screenshot from Ben's video. So you notice here, there's the Yellowstone spice right there.
Oh, okay.
So that's what people were talking about. But yeah, anyway.
I mean, there's probably a bunch of stuff you could read into.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you could, yeah. I mean, yeah, there is the Yellowstone one kind of stuck in the middle there. Um, but what I noticed, here's what I got from all this. So I was thinking, so you've got Scrapbook 99.5 and you got Scrapbook 49. The difference between those, here we go, I'm going to go crazy on you, is 50.5. Well, there wasn't a 50.5 scrapbook. But it's interesting what scrapbook 50 and 51 were. I can tell you that. So,
Hmm.
number 50, let's do 50 first. Okay. Let's do 50 first. So, 50, let me share this. I need to get my other monitor hooked up. Oh my gosh, it's driving me crazy. Okay, can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, this is number 50, which is the one with the double omegas. I thought
Huh.
was interesting. The double omegas with the rooster. I thought that was interesting, but that just happened to work out that way. Okay, let's stop sharing that and let's open up the other one. So between we're going to share 51, and it has to do with the blowback. Valerie Plame, CIA, or was she FBI? Yeah, CIA. She was a CIA agent. So I thought it was interesting. In between those two, it'd be 50.5, and it's in between the CIA story and the double omegas.
Hmm.
Just one of those coincidences that always come up in the chase.
Yeah, it
Uh,
seems like they're everywhere, huh?
yeah, or just the fact that it's called the blowback. Double omegas. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
may not mean anything, but I just thought it was interesting. Just wanted to share that. Let's see. Anything in chat good here? Spark plug. Hey, there's spark plug. Spark plugs in my neck of the woods. Let's see. Oh, you were asking a whisper question.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, Frank, you're right. Shy Guy says Valerie was outed, her cover blown. Isn't that
Valerie.
interesting? Valerie, Valerie was the CIA agent that was her cover was blown
Oh, yeah.
during the Iraq War and all that was going on. Yeah, she was outed by Dick Cheney and them. I thought it was pretty interesting. I was surprised that they ended up becoming friends. And she lives in Santa Fe. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. Like I said, my offer still stands. If anybody's interested, I will put up a little bit of my time and my YouTube channel and my Zoom, not YouTube channel. It would just be on Zoom, private Zoom. But we could maybe talk some strategy on stoof.com. I'm open to that if anybody's interested. But back to this scrapbook thing. Isn't that pretty cool though? Between the double omega and the cover blown blowback CIA agent.
Sorry, I'm trying to get a question out to Pam.
Oh no, you're fine. Hey, at least you're interacting with the chat better than I am. I haven't noticed that my cousin was. So my nephew, not cousin, my nephew was in here last week and I completely missed him. And I forgot to say anything to him. I haven't seen him tonight.
What's he know about it?
About the thrill of the chase?
Yeah.
Other than the family thinks I'm crazy.
So you got to
Uh,
keep that secret.
yeah. So you know the word intervention?
Yeah.
Okay. That's been a kind of a joke in my family.
Well,
Do we,
it,
do
it
we need an
honestly,
intervention, Brian?
it is kind of an addiction, I would say.
I'm like, how rude. Mm, that's all right. I hid something out there. So I was going to do it for the chase, which I did start that. I did never finish it. I mean, I started it, but I kind of pulled back because Copper Dan was doing his Jack Stoof poster giveaway thing for St. Jude. So I definitely didn't want to step all over that. So I kind of pulled back. I mean, I kind of kept it quiet for a while. And then it just didn't, it was just not going to work out. So I took it all down and gave up on that part. But I'll save it for my nephews and grandkids and nieces. And so, yeah. Oh, you're trying to get Pam to share a little bit. I mean, that's
Yeah,
kind of what all this code talk is just drives me crazy.
I just want to see it from her point of view. That's all.
Yeah. I was thinking this about this the other day, with the people on YouTube and stuff. And, you and I have pretty much been, I mean, we haven't been rude, for the most part, we haven't been rude. We might call somebody out, but we do it in a respectful way. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And it made me think about when I was young. I mean, my parents told me this, my grandparents told me this. It's like, if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say anything. And I was like, wow, a lot of these people can learn a lot from this. I think they've lost their way.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, I can remember being young and I mean, you didn't eat at we had dinner with all my cousins and my aunt and uncles and my grandparents. You didn't eat at the table with the grown-ups. You sat at the kids' table and you had to be quiet too. Not to say that we weren't mischievous, but when we were being quiet about it.
Oh yeah.
I remember, being young and having big Thanksgiving dinner with all my great aunt and uncles and all their kids and all, yeah, oh gosh, there would probably be like 50 people at the house. And you just be like walking over each other. And us kids had to go to the back room and we had to be quiet and we had to watch after the little ones. There was a couple of like, 1 year olds, 1.5 year olds. So us older ones had, I wasn't probably, oh gosh, 9 or 10, maybe somewhere there, 11. But, and I think they had those all the way up until I was probably in high school. And it was always our job to watch the kids. And they had one game in the back room. And it was called Sorry. And we didn't realize it at the time until we got older. Like, we would tell that story like, oh, sorry. It's kind of funny. But yeah, times have changed a lot, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
Maybe more for me than you, because I mean, I think I kind of know what your age is, but yeah.
I think it's pretty much the same for as it was for you, but I feel like
Yeah,
kids now are like the center of attention. Like they're the loud table.
yeah, yeah. Oh, definitely. Oh, you get my family together with my nephews and nieces, and then you add the grown-ups in there. It's like you're trying to sit there trying to play a game, and it's so noisy you can't even think straight. I'm sitting there thinking this would have never went over like 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah,
It
my
wouldn't
kid
happen. Mm.
my kids do that now. They both have their own cell phone.
Yeah.
So they're on that, they're playing something and then now like Alexa, I actually hate it. It's always getting turned on to the music that's too loud.
Yeah, we don't have Alexis, but we have Google Homes.
Yeah.
And we've got one in the dining room downstairs and then one upstairs in our bedroom. And oh gosh, you'll say, "Hey Google." Well, they're both going at the same time if you're too loud about it.
Oh yeah.
And I'll come downstairs and like, why is this one going? Oh yeah, that's right. We said it too loud. And then sometimes this sucker will just come on by itself. It's like, that was kind of weird.
Yeah,
I think one time what's that?
my daughter, she'll get it going and then it's so loud too. You go to turn it off and it can't hear you. So
Exactly.
you gotta yell. I yell to turn the volume down to a certain level.
I know you got to get right on top of it and yell at it.
And then you walk out of the room, come back, and it's right back up.
Yeah. I don't
I
do it. Go ahead.
I just end up like either unplugging it or
Oh gosh. It's yeah, technology is very interesting nowadays. It's kind of crazy. Like my wife's phone. I mean, she's got an iPhone. I don't remember what version it is, but we'll be having a conversation and she'll go to her phone and like something will pop up like a news feed or like a an ad or something, and it'll be about what we were talking about. I'm like, that is crazy. Is it just a coincidence? I don't know, maybe, but
oh, I don't think so at all. It's
Nomadic Madman says, did any scrapbook help you with a clue? Um, well, see, I didn't get into the chase till 2019, and I didn't really pay attention to scrapbooks until 205. I'll say that. And then after that, there was just tons of them. But I mean, I still don't even know all the scrapbooks. I still haven't read all the scrapbooks that are out there. Um, a lot of people will say they don't pay any attention to the scrapbooks. And I'm like, well, you maybe should have, because I think there's a lot to be said for that. Now, Forrest was careful, you know, not to, I think he was pretty good over the years not to slip up. That's not to say he didn't slip up, but I mean, that's what everybody seems to think that he slipped up with Jack, but I don't know. Yeah, 205 is also no, that's not 205. I was thinking that was the one that Ben had on his introduction, but that's what Skippy and Forrest where it looks like Skippy's stopping him. And if you notice, that's the one he talks about the wire on the left-hand side, and then over on the right, there's the X on the ground that makes an X on the ground. Yeah, I like
oh
that
yeah.
scrapbook. I like that scrapbook too. That came after 205. I don't remember what number that one was, but Pam says there was a box labeled scrapbooks in Washington, D.C. Huh. So I'm assuming she's talking about Library of Congress. Was it Forrest
Hmm.
scrapbooks? I don't know. See, Sparkplug says, went on vacation to the Rocky Mountains. Famous people went to Fenn Gallery in the Rocky Mountains on theirs. Yeah. I've said it before, regardless of the chase and regardless of what happens, if you ever get out west in the Santa Fe area, Taos area, Albuquerque area, definitely go to the gallery. It is like worth seeing. I mean, it's yeah. I was like, I wanted to sneak up those stairs. I wanted to sneak down the stairs through that narrow door too.
Where is
I
that, to
always
the basement?
the one that goes down to the basement and then the spiral staircase that goes upstairs. It was pretty cool. It was like wow, to pretty amazing.
Yeah, I would like to go there too.
Yeah, it was definitely. It's glad, supposedly somebody had put a bid in to buy it, but they were going to tear it down and put condominiums in there. I'm like, what? I don't know why the gallery there that's right there right now, Nadra, I don't know why they don't charge $4 or $5 just to go through there. I would have paid it. I'm sure anybody else that was there that day I was there probably would have paid it. I mean, I would I would embrace that it was Forrest Fenn who owned that. But they don't, I guess, don't like to talk about it too much. And there's a lot of history of people that have went through there. I think they're missing a huge income from that. They could probably make more off people coming through there and hearing this story. Even if people didn't know who Forrest Fenn was, but they'll be like when they walk out, they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, that was a cool story." You know what? Never even heard about this treasure hunt or this man and all he did and all the people that he knew. And I mean, they would probably make more off the fee to go through and see the gallery than they probably make off selling any of the art or anything. But I doubt it. There's a
How,
lot of wealthy people, there's a lot of wealthy people that still go through there. I mean,
how,
I had a conversation with the lady and she said, yes, there are definitely a lot of famous people that still go through there. Sandra Day O'Connor was one of them. She mentioned who is the other Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She'd been through there. Oh gosh, I can't think of some of the other names. I mean, those two were pretty big Supreme Court names. There was a couple others, but I can't remember who they were.
how many people were there when you were there?
Oh, probably less than a dozen people. At one time, I thought we were the only ones in there. And then I would go to a room and I'm like, oh, here's a couple of people. But there's a lot of rooms, and then you've got the outside part. I didn't see anybody go to the outside garden part, but the garden is huge itself. I don't know. Well, and they still use the guest houses. They still, you know, those are still used. And I told the lady, I said, well, I know about the story about Forrest Fenn. And I knew they had the guest houses. I knew about all that. I said, I actually looked on VRBO to see if any of these rooms were available. And she goes, oh, yeah, it's not for the public. It's for like well, she didn't say high rollers, but You knew that's what she was going after, you know. Their clientele. That's what she said. So they say
I
that
could have.
specifically for their
You probably
clientele that buys things.
you could have slipped her 100. I'm sure you could have gotten in there.
That probably wouldn't have been enough. So go back to chat here. I want to know more about the box, archive. There was a box labeled scrapbooks in Washington, D.C. archive. So I wonder, did you look at them, Pam? Did you look them up? Or if you go to the gallery, you have to go into the courtyard. Exactly, Sparkplug. I did. And I know you told me to, what was it you told me to do? I need to go search the water or something like that. Trying to get me thrown out? I think there's a little island. Are you the one that told me something about the island, Sparkplug? Excuse me. I'm pretty sure it's Sparkplug that said something about the island in the courtyard. I didn't, there were so many things I wanted to get done there that I didn't get done. I tried to go, I wanted to try to find, well, I did look for Old Wood Gallery, like they have a showroom, but I guess it's maybe doesn't exist anymore because we couldn't find it. Some lady that lived in Santa Fe goes, "Oh, I know where that is." So she told me where it was. I'm like, "Yeah, we've already been there. I didn't see it." She goes, "Well, maybe they did move it, or maybe they moved it, or they just closed it down." So that's one thing I would like to have done because we were doing some work on the house. I was like, man, wouldn't that be something I could just have like the entryway that we've got tile there right now. I've thought about taking it out. It's only like a 4x4 section, pretty small. I was like, man, what are the chances I could bring some wood back from Shiloh just to do that 4-foot 4x4 section? That'd be kind of cool. Have some old wood in there. I thought that was the way to break the ice, to Shiloh.
He wasn't having it, huh?
But I didn't make, so I was going to have to go all the way to Las Vegas to the warehouse area, New Mexico there, which was like, what was that, like a 40, is that 30 or 40 miles from Santa Fe? I can't remember now. But and it would have been over the weekend, so we just didn't, I'm sure they weren't open on the weekend. Says here, let's see, Nomadic Madman. Here's my interpretation of Scrapbook 115. The bronzes in the brush in a pit, LOL. Yeah, I'd have to look at that. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, good. I'm tired. By the way, he always mentions a dog again in Scrapbook 115. Oh, this bronze sniffing dog. A Whisper says, I asked Forrest about them. Some boxes were labeled restricted. Interesting. So he knew that they were restricted for viewing. So they were his scrapbooks at the Library of Congress, but they were labeled restricted. Oh, now she says good night. Come on, you got to clarify that. You got to clarify that. You just can't just say something and walk out. Well, I guess you can technically. I can't force you to stay in the chat. That would be nice if I had that power, but I don't.
That's the frustration.
Yeah. Dang it. Uh, well, I don't know anything else. Is there anything else I should be talking about that I'm not?
Not that I can think of.
I can't either. I'm tired. Been a long week. Excuse me. Sorry. The weather's starting to turn around. I like that. I
So
do
do
not
I.
like cold weather. I've had
It's
a tough
been
time with my sinuses this year. I don't know why. I don't know what's causing that. Maybe a tooth is bothering me that I just don't, that I'm not where. Uh, I'm not having trouble with it, but they say sometimes a tooth can cause sinus problems.
Mhm.
I guess I need to go to the dentist, and I don't like the dentist.
Maybe it's just the dry air maybe.
Could be. I try to, we have like one of those humidifier, what are they called?
De or yeah, humidifier, right?
Yeah, but it's actually hooked to the furnace.
Oh, okay.
And the dang thing, ever since we've lived here, it's never worked right. So they have these little solenoid motors in it. And because of the water, and it didn't even matter when we had soft water, but it would clog up and the solenoid kept going bad in it. I've replaced like, I don't know, three or four of them, and I finally like gave up. But usually in the wintertime, I'll just take a pan of water and stick inside of there. At least it's getting some moisture in the air.
Yeah.
But you were talking about your garage door, how you leave it open. Did you ever get your possum problem taken care of?
I think so.
Yeah, that's good.
I I don't know if I told you, but there was two of them. I thought I had gotten it out because I seen one like outside of the
Uh,
garage, and then I went in, closed everything up, and when I walked back outside, there was one in there eating the cat food.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then of
They'll go for
course,
that cat food. Mice will do that too.
I tried opening up the door real quick so it would go outside, and it just ran under the vehicle.
Yeah, those possums are crazy.
Oh, they are too, because like I said, it ended up being in there longer than I thought it was, and it knocked over a bunch of stuff. The garage door, it must have bumped the sensor somehow.
Uh,
I'm guessing it was trying to get out, but yeah, I'm highly annoyed with it right now.
so yeah, because now you got to kind of have to.
Now I got to make sure everything's closed up real good.
How's that going to work out with the other critters?
Well, I'm not really sure because they could kind of come and go as they pleased.
Right. Now they can't.
No,
Yeah. 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 I try to
did
do, what's that?
did Pam respond?
No, she just said that and then walked out. That's typical in the chase, little stinker. I think I've sent her an email and I didn't get a response back from her, if I remember correctly. Oh, well, Woody Boggs said if I had possums, they would be in the stewing pot. I don't do possum. I don't do rats. I mean, rats. Of course, you don't do rats. I don't do squirrel or any of that stuff. Yeah.
It looked
I
like
stick,
Big Rat.
I bet it did. I guess it's a good thing you didn't step on it. Hey, there's Bill Gorman. He stepped in.
What's he talking about? Fenn's house?
Ben's PI working on getting the title for his house fixed. That's good. Well, you've heard about him buying a house
Oh, where at?
in Kentucky. So, but they had two titles to it. So they're trying to get that worked out. But he says he's using um, Finn's PI. He'd have to explain all that to you.
I feel like he's talking about Fenn's house. I don't know why.
Yeah. No, Fenn's PI, private investigator. Vista Home says Pam's gone. She's cool though. I like Pam. Oh yeah, I don't dislike Pam. I just wish she wouldn't put something like that in the chat and then just walk out. I'm sure she's probably still listening. I don't know if there's a way I can see that or not. Who all's
I
in
don't
here?
I don't think well maybe.
Yeah. I've never just like I sometimes I need to do live and do it private so that I can learn some of this stuff. I don't mess with all this stuff. There's Davey B. He finally popped in.
So we got 33 now.
Davey B. Yeah, I'd like to go to. I told Davey B. if I ever went to Australia, I'd hit him up. That's that's on my wife's bucket list is Australia.
That's mine
And
too.
when you say bucket list, the chances of that happening is slim and none.
I have a friend that just went on like a 2 week long cruise there.
Uh-huh. Wow. How long? You say 2 weeks?
That's- yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Now I don't know. I don't know if he flew there and then went on it,
Uh-huh.
but yeah,
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
The only thing that gets me about Australia is the insects.
Oh yeah, crazy. Yeah. I don't know how I assume all that's true, but if those spiders are as big as my head, I'm out.
Oh yeah. They got them.
If me and spiders do not get along. I don't
I
care
think
I don't care how small it is, that sucker's dead to me.
I might be wrong, but I feel like the common spider is like a tarantula there.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not
Okay,
too bad if you're
just
staying, in
so
a
check
nice
so check
hotel.
oh gosh. So check this out. This is on my refrigerator downstairs in the basement. Oh, come on. Freaking green screen.
Is that a baby?
Yeah, it says, I don't care how small that spider is. I want it dead. So I keep that on my refrigerator in the basement.
Are you like me that you're terrified of them, but if you know they're nearby, you got to kill them?
No, I don't mind if I know there are probably a few in this basement right now. That's okay. They stay in their spot. I'm okay with that. But if they come crawling out, you're dead.
Now, if I see one crawling out, I'll move a bookshelf to make sure I kill it.
Uh, yeah, I don't go looking for them. They just know me. They already know that no. They stay in their corners, they don't come out because they know they're dead. You're talking about spiders and corners and stuff. So the first time I had never been to New Orleans before, but the first time we went, uh, we drove down. We get there, we get checked into the hotel. Um, it's kind of late at night because it was like a 12-hour, 13-hour drive, maybe not quite that long, maybe like 11 hours. But we left in the morning and got there in the late evening. Checked in, um, went down the road a little bit from where the place was we stayed at, and it was like a bar grill restaurant.
Yeah.
And we go in there and sit down, and there was these college kids. Well, I assume they were college kids. They were sitting at a big table. There was like probably 8 or 9 of them, 10 of them, and they were sitting over in front of us. And we're just sitting there looking at the menu, and all of a sudden I see something out of the corner of my eye. And I looked over there and I was like, it's like two or three mice. They just kept running in and out of the wall, because these college kids were dropping fries and everything else on the floor. And I bet there must have been a dozen mice going in and out of that hole to to grab the food off the floor. And
Huh.
our waitress would come out and like it was no big deal. There was mice everywhere.
Oh God.
Have you ever been to New Orleans?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Oh yeah, I couldn't believe it. And we get back to the place we were staying at, and I told my wife, I was like, man, I hope this thing is. I kept looking around for holes. I'm like, I hope this thing is secure from mice. Said you might not want to go to sleep. You might get carried off.
Uh,
Uh,
you ever been down to Alabama?
uh, the only part of Alabama I've been to is right on the shoreline because yeah, isn't Alabama and Florida like done that corner? Yeah, because it's called the Floribama, Florida,
The
Alabama.
Panhandle type area?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's a bar down there we always went to when we were down there.
Is it like the Gulf Shores?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's
Sweet.
right there on the Floribama line, Florida. They actually even have church at this bar place on Sundays. It's kind of funny.
Hmm.
They have service in the morning and they start serving
Oh,
uh
that's great.
their drink they serve down there at this place. Oh, they're so good. It's called a bushwhacker. It's really good. I don't remember what all's in it, but it's good. I'd
Maybe
always
we should send Street down there.
send Street in his van.
You know how he is about religion and alcohol. They go together pretty well.
Yeah, yeah. He would be yeah. He'd have a good time. Mm. There was a oh, I can't. Oh man, my memory is not very good. I was gonna say they had something up on the wall that was so funny. Oh gosh, I've had a picture of it, but the chances of me of finding it is like, do you know how many pictures you have in your? I have 3,000 photos on my phone. Is that not crazy or what?
Are you talking all together?
Yeah. Well, I don't even think that's just my phone part. That doesn't even include my Google photos. Is that crazy or what?
See, I have, oh, you're gonna lo love this.
Oh no.
It's actually, I mean, it's not much worse than yours, but I have 2,200 photos or videos in my camera,
Uh,
and then 1,100 screenshots.
oh wow. That is a lot.
And then
That's
there's probably another 1,000 labeled as different stuff.
there's a way to search this, but I don't remember when we were in New Orleans, honestly. Oh my gosh. My Google Photos is even worse because everything copies over to it. Gosh, chance of me finding this is slim and none.
Have so much Fenn stuff on here.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I need to go through there and weed that out.
Yeah, same here.
Huh. I always like going through some of my pictures. Sometimes it's kind of fun. It's like, why did I take that picture? Oh, okay, that's why. Interesting pictures. I'm trying to. So that's Vegas. We went out to Vegas. I'm trying to remember if New Orleans was before that or after that. Man, I don't remember. Hmm. Well, I don't know about you. Do you have anything else to add while I'm looking through here?
Let me see the chat real quick.
Oh, okay. I missed Tigger. I never did see my nephew in here tonight. I don't know if he just maybe forgot. Oh, you know what? He probably didn't know I was going live because it's been every other week. I don't know who Tigger is, but supposedly I'm supposed to know Tigger, and I don't know who Tigger is.
Hmm. Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't see anything to respond to, so
yeah. Just I'm out. Let's see. Thanks for keeping the language clean. Oh yeah, appreciate it. I do try to keep it clean.
I wish us as a group could just ignore all the crap. So there's no reason for them to feed us any more crap.
Yeah, I agree there. So you have several people that's going to be doing treasure hunts. Um, so then that's going to be an issue too. People stepping all over each other, you know,
I
because
hope
now
nobody does them.
Ben's talking about doing one. Um, Christy and Mike's talking about doing one. Justin supposedly is doing one. I don't know.
Before anyone thinks about doing one of them, just remember how many times they've had you wrapped around their finger and they give you nothing.
Yeah, yeah,
Nothing ever comes.
right. Well, or they you get it in code or something, you know. So I I did find it, the Floribama. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Oh, yep.
Oh, it
Oh,
just
it
went away.
disappeared.
Well, that's weird. Why is it disappearing for? I'm right here. Anyway, I'll read it too. It says Sundays, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's okay not to be okay. I thought that was so funny. It's okay not to be okay. It's all right. I can't remember what all's in the bushwhacker. I wish I had that recipe. Hmm?
Oh, I gotta ask you before we go,
Yeah.
what's the score gonna be?
What's the score gonna be? I'm gonna say 27-17. Chiefs win. What do you think? What do you think's gonna happen?
I think it'll be closer than that, like, I don't know, 27-24.
Yeah. I mean, Chiefs haven't been putting up a lot of points, really, when you think about it.
You know what I want to see? I don't really care who wins. Although
Taylor.
I think I would prefer that the 49ers win.
Uh,
Um, for the team that's down, like to get the go-ahead touchdown within the last couple minutes.
yeah, yeah. I thought it was pretty cool seeing Joe Montana up there on the stage
Hmm.
when
I
they
must have I missed
when
that.
they when they won the game, when the 49ers won the game. Joe Montana was up there.
Was he?
Yeah, which he played for the Chiefs for a little bit. I mean, they actually had pretty good shot back then, several times to make it to the Super Bowl, but they fell short. Sparkblood says, "Go Chiefs, 17-13."
a low scoring game there.
Yeah, and it could be. Yeah, yeah.
I think it's got to be
Oh, hello,
it's
Amy
gonna
Quinn.
be.
I've
I think
never
it's
met
gonna be
Amy
high
Quinn.
scoring.
Do you think it's gonna be low scoring or high scoring?
High scoring.
Yeah, yeah. It,
Um, I want Pacheco to have a really good game.
yeah. He's quite the character, isn't he? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, he is like full speed. And McCaffrey,
power.
oh my gosh, what about McCaffrey?
I feel like he's a little slower. I didn't think he really did anything.
Yeah, but he's get some good runs. He's a workhorse. I mean, he should be right up there for the MVP along with Lamar Jackson and I guess um oh my gosh, Mahomes. Can't even think of his name. But I think McCaffrey should be. I don't know. I haven't really paid much attention to the MVP thing, but
I know um, through the years, like he's been seems like he's been hurt every time the playoffs come around or they don't make the playoffs.
uh, yeah,
So you're going to be getting 100% of him,
yeah,
and he's probably only got a few good years left. So
right, right. Yeah, they're going to have to put a spy on McCaffrey, kind of like what they did with Lamar.
I think Purdy's going to have a good game too.
Yeah, yeah, he's quite the little runner too, isn't he? If I remember
Yeah, I
correctly.
bet.
Yeah,
I wouldn't doubt if he has over 50 rushing yards.
yeah, yeah. They're definitely Chiefs are definitely going to have their work cut out for him. But now, what's good for the Chiefs is what I was thinking was they're going to be in Vegas where the weather's good, so they don't have to worry about the weather. I mean, they've played in two nasty games,
Uh-huh.
well, actually three nasty games.
So it should be, even playing field.
Yeah,
I can't think of, was there any injuries that happened?
no, one of the Chiefs safeties or corner or something, didn't they go out?
Is
Was
that
it?
the one that took a helmet to the knee or what?
Maybe. I think that's right, if I remember correctly. So I think everybody's pretty healthy for both teams, really. But Chris Jones, I think, had a little episode, but I think he ended up coming back in, so he was okay. So if he has a good game, the safeties and corners have a good game, you know, the defense plays good. That's what we really need.
All right, let me ask. I got a question for you. The question that actually means something.
Uh,
What's what's Kelsey gonna do for Taylor Swift after he scores a touchdown?
well, he's gonna blow her a kiss, probably. Or send her the heart signal, the heart signal,
Yeah.
heart sign. I wonder if his brother's going to be there too. I'm sure he will.
Yeah, I like him.
Digger
He's
says that,
entertaining.
oh yeah, he is. He's pretty entertaining. They both are. I see where they're both like two peas in a pod. Imagine having to be their parent growing up.
Huh.
I don't know the story behind their dad. I know their mom, but I don't know about their dad. I've never heard much about the dad, but I know the mom.
Talk about winning the lottery.
What's that? Oh yeah,
Two of
yeah.
your
Both your kids. I
that
grew up. So when I grew up, I was in Mexico, Missouri, and our next door neighbor, I was so young because I was probably only, well, I was born there, and then we moved away when I was 7, I believe. But when I was like 4 and 5 years old, our neighbors, they were last name was Ezo. Um, I can't remember if both of them did, but I know one of the boys played for the Oklahoma Sooners.
Huh.
And I remember very, very vaguely. I mean, you don't remember a lot when you're that young, but I do remember several times when the brothers would come over at Christmas time when they were home from college. But I can't remember if both of them played football for the Sooners, but I know one of them did. And yeah, I was, I didn't know it at the time. I didn't until I got a little older. I'm like, my mom was telling me about the Ezel boys next door, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, I was so young, I didn't know what was going on.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, they were, yeah,
I don't,
pretty
I
interesting
don't
story.
I don't have anything like that. I do have a friend that his cousin plays for Ohio State.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's pretty cool. I
and
don't
then
have
I
a
have,
lot of, yeah, I don't know a lot of other, so I don't really have any famous story things. Now, I do have one. Um, Loretta Lynn.
yep.
So when I lived down in Nixa, Missouri, which is right south of Springfield, Missouri, I worked at a print shop down there. And uh, we did brochures for the Branson area. Sparkplug will know exactly what I'm talking about. But there's all kinds of music shows there. It's like a music capital down there in Branson, Missouri. And our print shop did a lot of the brochures for that area. And Loretta Lynn had to come in for like a photo shoot. I don't know if it was a photo shoot or she just wanted to visit the print shop where the stuff was being printed at. And I remember she had two daughters with her, and she come over by me when I was working on the computer, and she goes, oh, she goes, look at this redhead. Uh, I remember that happening. And then with my wife, um, so Carl Edwards. So you know who Carl Edwards is, don't you? The race car driver, NASCAR.
Name rings a bell, but
Yeah,
that's about it.
NASCAR driver. He's retired from driving because now, with the kids and stuff, Um, anyway, he's from Columbia, Missouri here. And his his mother's best friend, which was kind of his second mother, as he always called her second mother, her name was Terry. I won't say her last name or anything, but she worked with my wife in the same department. And one day Carl Edwards comes in to see Terry. And he's kind of waiting on her, and he's standing there by my wife's desk, and he goes, I'm hungry. He goes, I'm getting hungry. She goes, I wish I would have had a snack. And she goes, well, I've got some Ritz crackers over here if you'd like to have some of those. He goes, well, sure, yeah. So he started eating my wife's Ritz crackers. That's a pretty cool story. Uh,
I I've seen some famous people up close, I guess.
uh,
I've worked at a place, that like a venue. Bill Cosby's said a couple words to me.
oh, wow.
Um, Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Uh,
Um,
Dog the bounty hunter. Well, he wasn't looking
yeah.
for you, was he?
No, but you know what's funny about him is he's so short.
I've heard somebody else talk about that. I can't remember who it was. It wasn't anybody from the chase, but I've heard something mentioned about that. He's real short.
When he would take pictures with anyone, he was standing on his tiptoes.
That sounds like something I do. I'm only 5'6", so yeah, I'm short.
The coolest one though. for me was Mike Tyson.
Oh, are
I
you
got to
kidding
meet Mike.
me?
I got to I got to be in a room with just Mike Tyson.
That is crazy. Did he want
No,
to bite your
I didn't want to
ear?
bother him or anything, you know, but it
Yeah,
was just me, him, and his manager or whatever
yeah. I'd
for
be
just,
afraid he'd bite my ear or something.
a couple minutes, but man, he had an energy to him that just I've always been a big fan, so I wasn't like
Yeah.
scared of him or anything, but he was so intimidating.
Oh, I bet
But
he is. Well, I
but
mean, he,
polite. He was very polite and everything.
yeah,
Respectful, he didn't have to talk to me or nothing.
right. I remember the Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson fight because I had picked Evander Holyfield to win. And I remember Mike Tyson biting his ear. You remember
Yeah, oh yeah.
that? That's why I asked
Yeah.
you, I said, was you afraid he was going to come over and bite your ear?
You know, when I look at him on like videos or anything that I've seen, like even his fights,
Uh,
it looks like his arms are short, like he's got like little stubby arms.
like T-Rex?
Yeah, but man, I couldn't believe how wide his shoulders were actually, and like
Uh,
how far down his arms like hung down.
wow. I bet his arm was probably as big as your leg, probably.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Easily, huh? Yeah, that would be something seeing somebody like that. Yeah. Mike
I think
Tyson.
I don't think there's anyone that has a cooler story than Mike Tyson that's still alive right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I agree.
He's had it all and lost it. He's
Right.
came back.
Yeah.
He was basically an orphan, made it out.
Yeah.
Some of
He's got quite a story.
been to prison.
Yeah. He definitely has quite a story. Has anybody ever done like a movie on him?
There was one that was just done, but apparently he didn't approve of it or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I haven't seen it because that's why I was asking. But yeah,
Uh,
I kind of like, I kind of like boxing. I'm not much into the cage fighting stuff. I do like boxing, if you get the right characters in there. It's just that's kind of lacking right now.
mhm.
But back in the day, my grandpa on my dad's side, I mean, that was his thing. He loved watching boxing. It was so fun to be young and sitting there watching him watch a boxing match because he would he would be on the edge of the couch and he'd be moving those arms like this, like he was boxing. And my grandpa was probably 5'5". He was a little guy. And he would remind you of Don Knotts.
Uh-huh.
He looked almost resembled Don Knotts. Same size, same stature, skinny like that. And then he would just be on the edge of the seat watching this boxing. He'd be going back and forth. But he
Have you
loved
ever seen, I don't know, maybe you've seen these ones live or they were before your time, but the Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier fights?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Those
Oh
kind of
man,
fights is what he watched. Oh yeah.
those like obviously those were way before my time, but
Yeah. I don't
I've
remember what
went
year
back
the
and like
I don't
like
remember what you
1965 or something.
Yeah, see, I was born in 65, so
maybe 1970, but
I don't remember, but I know Muhammad Ali was one of them. Oh gosh, Foreman when he was younger. I know I'm missing some big boxing names, but yeah, I was so young. I just,
there's like, so many like the press conferences and interviews that they would do beforehand
uh,
leading up to the fight,
oh yeah,
and they at least Frazier hated him.
oh yeah, Joe Frazier. That's the name I was looking for. Joe Frazier is another big one. Yeah, yeah. You mentioned that a while ago, and it didn't. I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
Um, but I know one of their fights, like they beat the hell out of each other,
Yeah.
and going into the last round, both of them went back into the corner, and both their cornermen were going to call the fight. They both basically were giving up,
uh,
or I believe Muhammad Ali was ready to give up,
yeah.
I believe. But Joe Frazier's corner threw in the towel before, their side could.
hmm
And that's just one of those fights where it was like 110 degrees where they were fighting at, no air conditioning.
Was that the famous Manila fight
I'm not sure. It might have been the one before that, but it
or
could have
that?
been that one.
Yeah.
I feel like it is that one.
Uh, yeah. Yeah, it's not like
That
that anymore.
no, it's not.
I mean, we did have Sugar Ray for a while. We did have Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, that's Sugar
Lennox
Ray,
Lewis,
Lennox Lewis. Was there a James somebody?
James Toney.
Is that right? James Tony, is that who I'm thinking of?
It might be.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's a boxer's name.
Uh, Spikes or Spix or Leon's, what was it? Leon Spinks?
Yeah.
Leon Spinks. Yeah. Now there's some others in there. It's really good. Yeah, boxing's just not what it used to be.
But do you remember in the 90s, like nobody was making it out of the first round or second round with Mike Tyson?
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. He would knock them out.
Like he was punching through them.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, he was. He was taking them down.
I've seen
Yeah.
quite a few other celebrities too, but those are the ones that really stick out to me.
Yeah. Those were the good old days. Sorry, now I'm gonna start sneezing. Um, it's kind of like basketball, even football. Think about basketball and football back in the 80s, early 90s. You had like basketball, you had Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, McHale, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, um,
Dominique Wilkins,
Dominic Wilson, you got Jordan, and you got, I
Hakeem
don't,
Olajuwon.
Hakeem Olajuwon, Scottie Pippen. Remember Julius Irving? Would-
Yep.
Did you watch, did you ever get to watch him, Julius Irving?
No, no,
Oh,
he was
he was awesome.
he was long gone before I didn't really pay attention until probably 95,
Yeah.
something like that.
He had Julius Irving. Yeah.
You
Wasn't
know, it's kind of
he
cool
was
though.
he was
I've
for the
seen a lot.
76ers, wasn't he?
He played for the Sixers, and
Yeah.
God, I think there was another team, wasn't there?
Might have been towards the end there.
I don't think. No, I don't think. I think he did just play for the Sixers.
Yeah.
But I I vividly remember uh Jordan's last championship.
Uh,
that's when I really got into it. I think I was like probably 10.
Uh-huh.
So I got to see his game-winning shot over God, who the hell was it?
Was that?
Over the Utah Jazz.
Oh yeah, yeah. Who was on Utah Jazz? Oh my
John
God.
Stockton, Karl Malone,
Yeah.
Greg Greg Ostertag.
Stockton and Malone. That's who I was thinking of. Yeah. See, I was a big Boston Celtics fan. And I also liked Charles Barkley,
Yep.
uh, the Phoenix Suns. Yeah. So yeah, the Celtics and the Suns were my big teams that I watched the most. But of course, I enjoyed watching Michael Jordan.
And then as far as Larry Bird goes, I've seen so much of his stuff too. He was before my time too, but man,
Yeah.
that guy was fun to watch. I wish I could have lived through that.
Oh yeah. It was.
His his steal against the Pistons.
Uh-huh.
Such a smart player.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I show my son videos of Bird and uh Jordan, but a lot of Bird. I like the
Oh
way
yeah.
he played the game.
Yeah.
I try
That's
and tell him, I'm like, you don't have to be, you could be the slowest guy on the court and the smartest.
yeah. Yeah. That's back when they had Parrish and McHale and Bird and gosh, I can't remember the other two people. It's three. So all five of them are really good.
Yeah, the guy, um, Danny Ainge.
Danny Ainge, yes. And he also played for the Suns, if I remember
Yep.
correctly. Yeah, I think he played for the Suns too. And the
And
Celtics.
who was the black point guard that was really good? I mean,
Oh,
he was there for years.
yeah. What about the little guy? He didn't play for Celtics, but he was only like 5'4" or something like that, 5'5".
Spud Webb?
Spud Webb, yeah, yeah. Yeah. He was fun to watch too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, his dunk contest dunks were some of the best, I think, even to this day.
Yeah. At
Dennis
his
Johnson was that point guard.
what's that?
Dennis Johnson.
Dennis Johnson, yeah, yeah.
But you're forgetting all about the bad boys. They were the only team. I think Isaiah Thomas is the only player to have winning records against the Celtics, the Bulls, the Lakers.
Really.
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot about Isaiah Thomas. Yeah, he was something. Yeah, he was definitely right up there. Do you watch much basketball anymore?
No, not really. I mean I follow it, but I don't watch games like I used to. I
Yeah.
used to watch like religiously.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you probably don't remember them, but the Sacramento Kings during like the early 2000s.
Yeah, that's when I probably wasn't watching much.
It's when Chris Webber was there.
Uh-huh.
You know who he is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and
I
do
remember
you
him.
know Jason Williams,
Yes, I know him.
the white point guard
Yeah.
with they you know did around the back passes like they were a
Right.
chest pass. Yeah, that was my favorite team. Um, but yeah, I don't watch anymore. They kind of ruined the game when they let them take 5 steps.
Yeah, I agree.
I seen a highlight a couple weeks ago where Giannis, you
Uh,
know, he's like 6'10", can jump
yeah,
45 inches up in the air. It only took him one dribble to go three-fourths the length of the court.
that's crazy.
And when you only take one dribble, how can you play defense on that?
Yeah, you can't. It ain't gonna happen.
So it's not the same.
No, it's not.
I'd rather watch basketball where the score is, below 100.
Oh, I agree. Something that's got a
All
little
these,
bit better defense or something, you know.
all the games are like 140 to 130.
That's crazy.
And most of the time, it's one team shooting good and the other team shooting bad. So it'll be like a 30-point win.
Yeah. That sounds like Missouri Tigers. And we deal with that all the time here. They were supposed to have a pretty good team this year, but it isn't looking good. Do you watch much college basketball?
No,
Yeah.
nope. I don't feel like I don't have free time for that.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you. I somebody a friend of mine had an extra ticket tonight for the game, and I was like, "No, I'm not going." I didn't want to have to get out and deal with the crowd and all that.
Yeah, I'd almost rather watch it on TV too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun going. It's fun going to the game. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's kind of fun.
I'll probably go to a Pistons game before the year's over with, but
Yeah.
it'll be more to see who's coming to play them than it would be to
Um,
see the Pistons.
I've something I've never been to is a hockey game. So that's something I wanted to do this year is go to a St. Louis Blues game.
Okay. I've been to one,
Have you?
Red Wings.
Yeah.
The only thing I haven't been to is I've never been to a Lions game.
Really?
You know,
Oh, you'll have to go sometime. Especially now when, next year should be good for you all too.
why, what's next year?
Well, you pretty much have the whole team back, won't you? For the most part. Is
Oh
there
yeah.
is there anybody with contracts that'll be up?
I just don't see them doing as good as they did last year though, or this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna take a step backwards.
Oh, I don't think so. I've always thought that Golf was a good quarterback. We got a decent running game, so receivers. Oh yeah, I could see you all still being at the top of the game next year.
Maybe I'm wrong.
And then when you lose like that, man, the next year you want to. That's the year that usually a lot of teams have a better chances after they've lost that championship game because it's in their blood. They want that back. They'll definitely be hungry for it. That's for sure. You know.
Man, they were right there. They had it in their hands. I think that's the worst part.
When I saw all those drop balls, I was like, oh my gosh. It's like, so the Chiefs went through that towards the beginning of the season. I mean, we did win some games, even though they were dropping balls, but my gosh, we were dropping balls left and right. I was like, oh, that's hard. Yeah, you're right though. I think they should have kicked that field goal instead of going for it. Just get the 3 points up there.
Yep,
Three's better than none.
get the 3 points up there, and then it's a three possession game.
Yeah,
I forget how much time was left, but I think it was in the midway through the third quarter.
yeah. I mean, I thought Detroit, all their play calling was good. It's just there was like three drop balls there that would have changed the tide of the game.
Hmm.
And
Man,
then couple of
I would
penalties,
have
if I remember right?
I would
Or
have
was that a
won
turn?
so I can't remember.
Yeah.
I would have won so much money.
Tigger says they saw the lions at Lambeau, sorry, Lambeau.
Wait, what did he say?
Tigger said he saw the lions at Lambeau.
Oh, okay. So is Tigger a Packers fan then?
I don't know. Tigger, are you a Packers fan? Gosh, I hope not, because I'm a Vikings fan. I really like my Vikings. I'm honestly. And I tell you what, me and the Vikings have been through a lot of bad years, let me tell you.
So what are they gonna do now? Is Cousins gone then?
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. I think he still has another year on his contract, I think. Can't remember what he signed. Can't remember honestly. I mean, I think he's a good quarterback. He's just not what Minnesota needs. But and we let a lot of good players just slip through our hands. I mean, that's the other thing that just irritates the heck out of me. I mean, we got rid of Cook, the running back, you know,
Yeah, but
so
what's he done since he's
got rid of
left?
Diggs. We got rid of Diggs. I mean, yeah, I just hate to see that. You got a pretty decent team, and then it's kind of like rebuilding. You know what I mean? I mean, they've got s- some good receivers. It's just getting them the ball. You know, Jefferson is like a Randy Moss, but we
Yeah,
never could get the dang ball to him. And Cousins is not the running quarterback. Um, they could never protect him in the pocket. It always bothered me because I always put him underneath the center. Okay, you put him underneath the center, and then he's got to run back 6 or 7 yards and get set. How about just start him out back there? I never could understand that, but I wasn't the coach, so. But this new coach, he's young and he's pretty good. He did a pretty good job. I really wanted Dobbs to do good. He said Tigger says I was a Steelers fan. I was a Steelers fan too. I kind of like the Steelers. I used to like the Steelers when I was younger. Terry Bradshaw, Lynn Swan, Franco Harris. Oh my gosh, Stallworth. Oh man. And the reason why I became a Vikings fan was because of Fran Tarkington.
mm.
I liked watching him scramble. If you're watching the old footage of him,
Uh-uh.
oh my gosh, look up Fran Tarkington. That guy runs all over the freaking field. And then he'll make some dramatic pass. It's like Mahomes on steroids.
Huh.
Oh yeah, Fran Tarkington, look that up. And he was just a little guy, you know. He wasn't
What what
nothing
era was this during? Like
uh
90s or
70s and
oh okay.
I can't remember when he retired, early 80s. Um I don't remember when he retired. Like it would have been the early 80s when he retired, but it was mainly in the 70s. But oh yeah, look some of his footage up. It's pretty wild. Every once in a while, I'll go back to it and watch it. It's kind of fun. Speaking of looking at stuff, did you get a chance to watch Ripcord?
No, I didn't.
Ripcord, The Final Jump? That was pretty interesting, I have to say. I actually watched it last night,
How long is it?
like 30 minutes. It's not very long. The
Oh,
episode
okay.
lasts 30 minutes. But what's really weird is the link that I sent you, it it plays the episode, And then it starts the episode over again. It's like twice in a row. I don't know why it does that. I couldn't figure that one out.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. Yeah.
So it's just
Go ahead.
what what does it show?
Well, it's these skydivers. I think what they are like rescue skydivers,
Uh-huh.
like kind of like the military has paratroopers. So um, this kid ends up getting lost, and his dad, who is like a con man, and he's all dressed up in a black suit. He doesn't have a black tie, but he does have a tie, suit, a black hat, and sunglasses. And the it's kind of a long story, but anyway, they catch up with the guy and say they're having this conversation about what they're going to do. And he's like, "Well, if you're going to look for my son, I'm going too." And so anyway, long story short, they get in the plane, and the two guys that are going to jump is there with the dad, who is in a black suit, and he's got a parachute on, kind of like DB. You could just picture DB Cooper. Anyway, he parachutes out. He does not sure exactly what he's doing, but he parachutes out with the other two guys, and he gets in trouble. Find out he ends up dying. But it was just called kind of weird, you know. Here's this guy who looks like DB Cooper jumping out of a plane. It's kind of funny. And then supposedly this, I think on Christie's show, the lady that was on there, Patricia or whatever her name is, I don't know if I'm saying that right or not, but she said that the stunt double, I believe it was, or like somebody that worked with the parachuters was his name was Lance somebody, and supposedly he was like had been looked at from the FBI. That's what I gathered. I didn't watch all their show, but I'd seen a part of that.
Like they
So,
thought he was DB Cooper?
well, I just thought it was odd that this was in 1963, I believe. I think this episode, the last episode, it's called The Final Jump. I think it was in 1963, or maybe it wasn't the last episode, but I could be wrong on that. But this episode was called The Final Jump, and it was in this episode was in 1963, I believe. And then eight
Hmm.
years later, the DB Cooper thing happens.
You know, if that was the epicness, like somehow Shiloh could prove who DB Cooper was,
Yeah, that'd be pretty
I'll
cool.
I'll apologize for everything I've said. 'Cause that would be something that would be legitimate.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where I stand on that. I want to say no. I mean, maybe he knows something about it. I mean, what if we find out that Forrest has the money from DB Cooper and could do nothing about it because, you know, that money would be worth a lot of money. You know that, right?
Oh yeah.
Even though Forrest doesn't, I mean, Forrest isn't around. Let's say he worked out a deal with the supposed DB Cooper character. Just happened to run into him, you know.
What if he
Some
found what if he found his body?
That would be crazy. That'd be really crazy. Well, like when we have that would have been after 1971 though. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is it possible? Yeah, I guess it's possible.
Well, I mean, it could be a decade after. I mean, you could find the parachute and, bones attached to it. And
Yeah,
then the money, you'd know right away that it was. But
yeah, yeah. There's so many speculations on DB Cooper. It kind of reminds you of the chase. It depends
yeah,
on who you ask and what answer you're going to get. It remind So when I first got into the chase, I didn't know anything about how DB Cooper was even part of the chase. I didn't even learn this until 2020, if I recall. And I'm like, what? I didn't
yeah,
pick up any of that. But then I got to thinking, then more and more people were talking about it. I'm like, wow, I see it, I get it. How much of it I believe, I don't know. It's kind of weird that, you know, we're somewhat at a mystery at this ending. Well, I told you my theory on the ending, about the money, the whole money.
say it again.
So we were led to believe that Jack was offered $1.8 million for the treasure. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
But yet Jack only gets 900 XX dollars, 900 some thousand XX dollars, whatever that is. Let's just say 900,000. Well, what's half of not 1.8 million? 900,000. So why would Jack only accept half of what he was offered?
Oh, well, this was the explanation used, is that he was probably just sick of dealing with it and just wanted to be done with it.
But he was already offered 1.8 million. Did that offer get taken off the table? I mean, Justin ended up with the treasure chest. Justin is the one that offered him money, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
And then Christie has said that she was going to put some up too. So it makes me wonder if the whole mystery is where'd the other 900,000 go? That's, uh, and then you got the gift tax receipt. At what point, I'd like to know the date on that gift tax receipt. Because if Heritage had not put a value on that chest for quite a while, then how could the estate have given him a gift tax receipt of what it was worth? You see where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
It it just doesn't make any sense. It's just like the story of Jack and finding the treasure. It all doesn't make any sense. Now, if it's all what it is, then why are they drug us on for this long if everything's legit? You know, why can't we talk? It's like Justin's looking for Jack now because he had a gag order. But Shiloh says there was no gag order. It's like it's like I just don't get this. It's like this is ridiculous. Why are you stringing us along for? There's not that many people left. It's like enough is enough. I mean, get on
Nix
with
that.
your hunt. Just get it over with. Let's go. Show us, you know. I'm yeah, I don't know. I don't get it.
I
I'm
think
just
that's
thinking
how
I'm
everyone
just I'm
feels.
just thinking if the bid was if a bid was put up for 1.8 million, but Jack only got 900 some thousand dollars for it, where'd the other money go? Let's just say that there was 1.8 million put up. And somehow they found out that Jack only got 900 some thousand for it. That would be the mystery to them. Like, okay, where did the other money go? Maybe that's what they're trying to figure out.
Wait,
I don't know.
who's trying to figure out?
Justin, Christy, any of them, Cynthia, any of them, trying to figure out where the other money went to. I mean, like I said, it's just a theory.
Wait,
I'm probably wrong. I just throwing it out there.
who would have paid the 900,000? Was it Justin?
Well, I assume, but let's say Jack only got 900 some thousand dollars for it. But yet there was a bid for 1.8 million. I'm sorry, those two figures don't add up. It'd be like you offering me. It kind of reminds me of Ben's story with his flies. He gets offered $10,000 for the flies, cash. He also gets offered 40 some thousand dollars for the flies. Then he gets also offered $50,000 for the flies. But he does a free hunt, loses the flies, gets swatted, and nothing. I mean, so he's out basically $50,000. Does that any of that make any sense to you?
No, it doesn't.
Which brings me back around to stoof.com. Maybe there's more to the story than we're being fed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just find it all interesting. I just I mean, if you were the finder of the chest and you wanted to stay anonymous, but you'll answer some questions from searchers like Jack did, you know, oh, wait a minute, your name did get outed, but nobody can talk to you, nobody can find you. You get offered 1.8 million for the chest. Do you think you're going to take that and freaking run? Yes. Why would you stick around and say, well, I guess I'll just take 900,000 for it?
You think that could be one of those things where you get a $900,000 check and then a briefcase with 900,000 in it?
Be like, if it's cash,
Yeah.
you either take 1.8 million over 20 years like the lottery or 900,000.
No, I'm saying you get both,
You get both?
but you're only getting,
Yeah, I see what you're saying. He got 900,000 cash, but the other 900,000, we don't know if he got like a cashier's
yeah.
check or he gets in 20 years or it's in a trust or yeah. It's one of those S corporations. I told you
I,
about that movie, didn't I? About the
mm,
S corporation? Maybe
I
I was
can't
telling
remember.
maybe I was telling Lee about it. So I was watching this movie one night. I'll have to find it again. Sandra Bullock was in it, and I can't remember the guy's name, but it's an older movie. And anyway, he comes home, he's been drinking, and he can't figure out what to do with his life. Anyway, Sandra Bullock's character is talking to him and said, you need to do this, you need to do that, blah, 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 blah. He ends up passing out on the couch because he's been drinking and he's watching the TV and it's on. So he wakes up later and there's this person, I think they're maybe golf or he was either golf or tennis, I can't remember now. And the person that character is talking to him through the TV, kind of like God, well, like God, and he's telling him he needs to start a business. And he's like, start a business? What? What's going on? You talking to me? Yeah, I'm talking to you. You need to start a business. So he starts flipping the channel and it's the same guy on different channels, just in a different setting. So he goes back to the station and he goes, yeah, you need to start a business and make sure you do it as an S corporation.
Huh.
He says you have to pay half the taxes as a corporation. So remember that. I thought that was funny.
Well, I find it funny that K-Pro was able to call that Jack was going to sell it for less.
Yeah. She was going to call.
She called it before it was sold. She made a prediction that Jack was going to sell it for less.
Yeah. I think I do remember that now too. So much gets said. Oh my gosh. So that goes to what I'm saying. She already knew that he was taking less for it, but why would he take less for it? That doesn't even make any sense. Does it to you? Am I the only one out there that thinks that that's crazy?
No, you're not.
I mean, that to me it means 188 million, 1.8 million got put up. But somehow she found out that Jack only got 900 some thousand. So the question is, where's the rest of the money? Where did that go? That's what I'm trying to figure out. And then if Jack got 1.8 million, let's say he did get 1.8 million for the chest and the treasure itself. Well, that means that somebody lost their butt on the heritage auction thing, because I think it only went to like 1.3 million, didn't it?
I can't remember, but you got to remember the chest wasn't part of it. The dragon bracelet.
True, true. The dragon bracelet supposedly Justin doesn't have anymore. That's missing too. I'm sorry, people. I've been watching chat, so I don't. Anybody has anything to add to that? It was only worth 900,000 face value. Okay, it was only worth $900,000 face value, but he got offered 1.5 million by Justin, and Christy said she was going to take money out of her retirement to help out with that even more. So let's just randomly say 300,000. Well, that puts us at the 1.8 million mark, which is what's been dropped before, is all I'm getting at. Like I said, I could be completely wrong, and that's okay. I like being wrong once in a while. Keeps me honest. The misspelling of stoof is key legally. Yeah. Well, so Galaxy, I told you, I'm just going to say it here. So I've been in contact with trying to locate the lawyer who has the gift tax receipt. And what was my answer to that? What did I find out?
He retired, right?
Yeah, he retired last year. But don't think I'm giving up. I just wonder if anybody else has that.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. And just to recap, I have not heard anything from the FOIA with the FBI on the color pictures, high-res color pictures. It still says the exact same thing.
Hmm.
So I've come to the conclusion that they haven't told me this, but my assumption would be I don't know why they gave me the black and white ones. I don't have an answer for that. But let's just say the color ones are part of a bigger FOIA, which is why they are tied up. Because what we do know is there's been some other searchers that have put FOIAs in for the same information. So my theory is the high res color pictures are part of a bigger FOIA, which I'm not going to receive those color pictures until the whole FOIA is released and the redactions are made out of it. So that's what I think is happening with that. Because I have not received anything. Matter of fact, I checked on them. I sent a questionnaire in November of last year, and I was told that it was with a GIS specialist for redactions. And I'm like, redactions on the photos? Why would you need to redact the photos? You already gave me the black and white, so why do I need redactions on the color pictures? So that leads me to think that it's part of a bigger FOIA, and that's why they're the holdup. So it could take 6 months. It could take 3 years. Nobody knows.
Oh man, really?
If it's part of a bigger FOIA and one person's going through and redacting all this paperwork, well, look at the FOIA for um, the DO Department of Interior. That's something else I'll talk about while we're here. The Department of Interior FOIA, 600 pages, heavily, almost all redacted. Interesting.
Hmm.
Here's what I thought of. So when I did a FOIA, Yellowstone, I was told there is zero documentation of the Zoom meeting because it wasn't initiated by them. In other words, it wasn't initiated by Sarah Davis. It was supposedly, the word I got was initiated by the finder and Forrest. But I say to that, baloney, because she was on official business. Why was there no notes? Why was no documentation? Zero. Zilch. Nothing. Nada. I mean, think about the other people that gotten kicked out of Yellowstone for just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Look at Pierce Brosnan. Prime example. Just recent. If I was anybody, if I was anybody and got in trouble in Yellowstone and found out that this all had happened and nothing, I don't think I'd be very happy. I would be thinking, I want a redo.
Could you actually prove that though?
No, Galaxy. Don't hold me to that. I'm just spitballing here, buddy.
Well, don't let me stop you.
I'm just, yeah. I mean, yeah, there was, and in reading some of the emails aren't heavily redacted. There's a little bit of tidbits in there. And maybe it wasn't part of that FOIA, it was a different FOIA where they're having conversations with Fenn during emails. And everything's so polite and courteous.
Yeah.
I find that a little odd too. I mean, like they weren't the slight. I mean, they've been having a lot of trouble with, excuse me, with some searchers. And some people got in some serious trouble. Um, I just find it, I don't know. It's quite the story. It's one for the ages, I can tell you that. I need to probably be watching chat here. If Jack was in the LLC, then whatever money he had at auction had to pay for attorneys and the auction fees, etc. Okay, so let's say you think that's worth $900,000. I don't think so. And that's the other thing. So I sent a question to Justin. I said, just out of curiosity, did Heritage offer you any information about the chest other than being just, what was it, a 19th century chest? Is that right? Did I get that right?
Yeah.
And his answer was no, not that they were willing to share. So if there was information, they didn't share it with Justin. I mean, he was the owner of the chest, wasn't he? And why didn't he get that information? Or maybe he's just holding that back and not sharing it. I don't know. I don't know why Heritage would be. Maybe they were under a gag order too, you think? Uh, You can't make this up, I'm telling you, people. Justin said 1 year after the fine that there still hadn't been an appraisal per K-Pro. Well, all I can say is I'm curious what that gift tax receipt said. Maybe the gift tax receipt says 1.8 million, but he can only get 900,000 out of it. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm just spitballing here. I don't know. Tigger says it belonged to Jack before F died. Yeah, supposedly. Well, supposedly the estate was able to go through the treasure, right? Isn't that what we've heard too?
yep.
There's so many different stories. It's not even funny. Anyway, what time is it now? Oh
You know
gosh,
what?
it's going on 10 o'clock. What?
I feel like the only thing that's actually been worthy to see has been the pictures that you provided.
Oh, those FOIA pictures?
Yeah, I mean,
That
can
was
you
pretty
name
cool.
can you name anything else that had like a wow factor in these 4 years other than Jack Stoof article? You know,
Yeah,
what else has there been? Nothing sticks out to me.
not really. I mean, it would, trust me, I was floored when I got that. I mean, you were the first one I talked to, and then Jason and Lee. But yeah, yeah, thought it was just so after, and then after looking at them, I'm like, where's the rest of the vault? Why is there only one corner? And why me? It's like, I don't have an answer for that, people. I really don't. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm still here, because I have my own answers I can't answer. My own questions I can't answer, should I say. Anyway, but yeah, that was pretty cool to see, you know. Uh, So so I heard a story the other day. I don't even know where I heard it. Wasn't there something mentioned about, is there a story out there about Forrest had the pill bottles in the vault sitting next to the treasure chest or something? Or am I somebody
I
I've heard this story somewhere, but I don't know who or or anything.
I think I remember hearing that from like Cynthia or something.
Is
I
that
don't
coming
know.
from Doug Preston?
I don't know.
Well, she never saw the treasure
Yeah,
in
you
his,
might be right.
that means if she saw the treasure in his vault, then she knew him before the the hunt. Cynthia, you got some explaining to do, girl.
It must have been. It must have been Doug then.
Yeah, it must have been. And I think Ben alluded to that on his show last night. Have you watched all of his show?
No, I haven't.
So he says, so Cavalry had video, not video, but audio of Dale, that not all of it's been shared, and also Doug Preston, that's not all been shared. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
And I guess there's some interesting little tidbits on there. Nothing earth shattering, I think is the way you, maybe he didn't use earth shattering, but
You know what? I've heard that too many times.
you're
Yeah,
right. We've heard
it
that a
does.
lot. And
It
it's
does
a nothing.
nothing for me.
Yeah, I hear you. My arm is missing on this one side. It's kind of weird. It disappears. Didn't even notice that till just now. But yeah. Did we get anywhere tonight?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Can't blame us for trying, right?
We got 44 people in here now.
Yeah. Cape Road showed up. Hello, all. Cool. Didn't know you were live. No, I don't advertise it. I just go live whenever I want on a Wednesday night. And this was my week off, but I told Galaxy, I was like, hey, let's go live. You know, why don't we do this? So yeah, I don't know anything else. I don't know. You didn't miss much, Christy, other than my question maybe to you is if Jack was offered $1.8 million, because I've heard that figure thrown out there, but yet he only got 900,000 for it, a little over 900,000 for it. I'm just saying, what if the payout was 1.8 million and Jack only got 900 and some thousand? Where'd the rest of the money go? Is that a scenario we could talk about?
Let me add to that.
Yeah, add to it.
And then how are you able to call it being sold, Jack selling it for less?
Like, where's the proof in the pudding on that? I mean, is that what the gift tax receipt was for? Because I'm hot on the trail for that. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe she's typing. Anything is possible, but the final amount was 920,000 from what I was told. There you go. There you go. So there's 900 and some $1,000 missing, if you ask me. I don't know. Maybe. She's not denying. I mean, she's not saying it's not possible. Anything is possible, she says. Anything is possible. Wow. That kind of opens it up to anything, right, Galaxy?
Yep.
Gift tax was in the court docs with the amount redacted. Well, that's interesting because I was told it was not entered. The gift tax receipt was part of the state exhibit, but it was never entered as evidence in court, from what I was told. Now, I do know the lawyer who has that. Interesting enough, they retired last year. So you think it, I think it was negotiated down. Hmm, interesting. Longer time goes by, the value went down, and Jack's hands got tied more and more. I don't know. That's too easy of an answer. Don't you think, Galaxy? It's kind of like a typo in a court document. I mean, those do happen, but they're supposed to fix those typos in court documents. I know this. If something's not right, you fix it because it could change an outcome later down the road. Just saying. She says, I don't know what to believe, just repeating what I heard. It all is a mess. I agree. No, and I don't hold anybody at fault for anything. It's just me talking. I have no ill feelings towards anybody. But that, you know, I don't know. I don't know what else to say, Galaxy. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I think that's probably it for tonight, huh?
Probably. It's after 11 for you. Yeah. Ugh. Oh, Christy, I was going to tell you. So I was definitely rooting for the Lions. So even though that didn't happen, I was rooting for the Lions. I was rooting for him for Galaxy. I really wanted to see the Chiefs and Lions in there. Like it'd been fun. Put a little $25 wager down or something.
Yeah, it would have been nice. I feel like it's going to be a while before we get that opportunity again.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm I'm more of a Vikings fan than I am a Chiefs fan. So that should tell you that should tell you something. It's been a lot of disappointing years. We come close several times, just like the Lions just did. It was pretty cool to see Barry Sanders there though at the game.
Yeah, it was.
I thought I was like, man, that I don't know, Barry Sanders at the Lions game is almost probably better than Taylor Swift at the Chiefs game. You think?
I would say better for sure.
Yeah. Like I said, that second half, they had it won. It's just there's some 3 or 4 drop balls that did not help at all. Yeah. You got to secure that football, especially in the second half.
How about that would be interception turning into a touchdown too?
Oh yeah. That was messed up, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the start.
Yeah, it was. Yep. Because that was right after they came out from halftime, wasn't it?
No, I believe that was
Nope.
right after it was right after they should have kicked the field goal.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I was thinking that was right after the half or something. Yeah, I'm remembering that wrong. So Sparkplug says he's been to the geocache. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll definitely get down there sometime and check it out. So I've got a geocache hit down there at Branson. So whenever I'm down there, I go down there and check on it. So yeah, I'll
Hey, is there any truth to Justin taking a picture of the chest with dog food or something in it?
I haven't heard that one.
Did I hear that?
I
Maybe it
don't
was
know. Are you
dog
asking? Are
treats.
you asking Christy that?
Anyone really?
I'm sorry. I'm not paying much attention to chat right now. Christy was saying something. Sparkplug was talking. Justin was talking about how complicated it was. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know.
Oh yeah. So he put pig ears and dog treats in the chest.
For what reason? What's what that doesn't make any sense. That's a true story then? I don't I don't I don't I don't know. I don't get it.
And I wouldn't say devalues it, but it's I would almost say disrespectful.
Pigs, ears, and dog treats. There's got to be something to that. It's probably code for something. You know how this community is. Yes,
You get
Justin posted the picture on Discord. Oh, they're on their Discord? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that. That's new to me. Anyway, I think we're done, Galaxy. I'm tired and past we're on here an hour later than I thought I would be.
Yeah, I agree. Let's call it a night.
Well, supposedly next week, Brent John is supposed to get a hold of me. He wanted to come on and share his story. I've heard his story before. It's a cool story. I asked him if he had a scrapbook that he liked or something. I didn't really get that out of him, but he hasn't gotten a hold of me by email yet. But so Brent John, if you catch this, um, my YouTube channel at the top under my name, my email's there. At least it should show up. I don't keep it secret, so. Oh, and by the way, anybody, again, if anybody's interested, email me. I would say 10 people, maybe 12 people the max. We'll do a private Zoom on the weekend and we'll go over stoof.com if you're interested. I'm willing to put that up there. So if people wanted to come on and talk, just a private Zoom, um, I can make that work. So I haven't really worked on stoof.com, but if anybody is interested, um, I'd be willing to do that. We'll just keep it a small little group. Um, and I'm only doing that because so I was reached out to somebody back when this all started. Um, so maybe there's a little bit of I felt a little bit of obligation, like I should do something, but nobody seems to be getting anywhere with it, and or nobody's really even paying attention to it. I think a few people are, but I'm not getting any headway. So I thought, well, I'll just throw my name out there. If somebody wants to get a hold of me and do a little private Zoom on the weekend, we can make that happen. So hit me up. And everybody have a good rest of the week. Um, as I always say, be safe, be kind, be positive, and have fun. Because supposedly there's answers coming, right, Galaxy?
Yep, they're right around the corner.
Um, if there's a Netflix video, a next Netflix documentary, I don't think it's going to have the answers, right?
I agree with you.
I think it's probably going to be a Justin thing, possibly. Um, I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't mind being wrong. So, Sorry, I'm typing. I'm not doing a very good job here. So I put in the chat, I said, be safe, be kind, be positive, and have fun. Answers to come. That's what I'm told. Ben. Send emails to Ben. I'm going to put that in there. Answers to come. Send Ben your emails. Oh. Oh, a little bit of fun, have a little fun. Oh, goodness. Well, Galaxy, I'm gonna need to end this real quick.
All right.
Let's see. Let me end the live. We got